3, 2, 1. Good morning, our Saviors.
Good morning.
It's Friday.
Woo!
All these good morning videos look exactly the same because they can't tell what day it is.
Right.
So we're telling you it's Friday. All right, video vlog of Crew 7. This is Trevor's project. That's the only thing we got left to clean up. Coming around the house here. This door wouldn't close for a couple days because we had lifted this little section of the house, this little porch area where the washing machine is, or laundry machines. But my cherubs painted all this and that and the trim. We had to dig a trench underneath this and then jack it up and put new concrete footings under there. We did not redo the lawn, but they did a pretty good job of putting the dirt back. This is the other side of the house. She wanted us to leave these two windows as they are for, I think, security reasons and whatnot. But this is the back of the house, kind of the backyard. This is the other back side of the house. Again, she just kind of wanted us to leave these windows alone. We did paint these things white, but mostly it was just the trim around the house and then painting the house itself green. And now for the golden glory, of course. The front of the house, which we tried to make as nice as possible. We did all the white trim. We did the green Minto chip paint. And of course, the fabulous one and only Crew 7, who if you are watching this video from the great state of Colorado or the suburbs of Chicago,
it's your vlog.
or you're watching the vlog.
Follow my Instagram.
Right.
At WBEESNLEY.
Yes.
My Instagram.
If you are Rose or Cammie or Wes or Aiden's parents or congregation, you need to know that they did your city and your congregation proud.
You're welcome, Hinsdale South.
Yes. And again, more windows. So this would be the street view if you saw the house. And our resident, Miss Dolores, was very happy and very impressed. We painted this design. We took it off and painted it white. We fixed that by painting the border. We fixed this window up a little bit. It's in pretty bad shape. The trim, the windowsill. But I'd say we did our best cleaning it up and making sure it looks good. And that brings us right back to where we started.
Prototype.
All right, we got your boy Ben L. All right. Today what I want you to tell the folks back at Our Saviors and anybody who happens to be watching the video is, how did this trip or this project make you closer to your faith, and what's one deep thing that you feel like you learned?
Okay, so I guess I'll start with kind of like how it kind of made me like kind of connect like kind of with my faith a little bit. So I'm not a very like, okay, it's like my whole probably family knows this. I'm really unfamiliar with all these tools such as like screwdrivers and like blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. And so I feel like that kind of what God did is, as my time and week kind of progressed, I had these people in my crew help me like guide me through these tools. And so now kind of coming today is like I'm able to kind of use some tools, and it's really cool. And he's kind of helped me through it. So the biggest thing that I guess that I learned kind of how to do is I'm learning how to build a deck, and I'm kind of learning how to use like screwdrivers and stuff to hopefully like fix things in the future.
Do you hear that? The world is Ben's pastor. Grant! Hold on. Grant!
Yeah.
How did this trip this week make you closer to your faith, or this project closer to your faith? And what's one deep thing that you feel like you learned this week?
Well, I feel that something that made me closer to my faith was just how big of an impact our work for these people have done. And one thing was, we obviously did all this work on this lady's house. We also got her groceries. We did devotion with her, and we made friends with her and all her like family members that were coming and going. So I feel like I just learned how big of an impact something like this can have on people.
Very cool. Now the two of you, is there anything else you'd like to say? I know the week's not over, but we're gonna pretend like this is
The last vlog.
yeah, you know, because we'll still, you know, have fun on Saturday when we're driving, but
This will be the last full day of work.
Yeah, I feel like if I ask you what you did today, you're going to be like, we finished our project.
Or I mean, the goal today is to finish the project. That's the goal.
Yeah, so what else you got to say?
I don't know. Good morning, I guess. I mean,
Morning.
All right.
morning.
Sweet. All right, without even pausing, we're going to transition right on over here. You ready for this? To our man, Isaac. Yeah. Let me get a chair here. Old fat guys like me, we got to sit down, Isaac. All right, we can't just be standing around. Isaac, what about this trip made you feel closer to your faith, or what about this project made you feel closer to your faith? And possibly what's one kind of deep thing that you feel like you learned this week?
Well, the faith thing, kind of what Grant said earlier, it's like the kind of stuff that we're doing for these people.
Sure.
And the fact that, we're working as a team to do it.
Very cool.
I think that can really help with that. And then one thing that I learned this week is that what would seem like a small something can make a big difference.
Sure. Absolutely. And the three of you, all right, let's see if we can get all three of you in the same frame. Oh, right there. I just want you to know, you made your city look good, you made your congregation look good, and you serve this community with style. Thank you. Oh, wait. Isaac, do you have anything else to say? Any closing thoughts?
No.
That's what I like to hear. All right, we're not talking about what we did today, man. We're talking about, I want to know, all right, how this trip either brought you closer to your faith, or this project brought you closer to your faith. And I want you to tell me something that you learned that was either deep or skill this week.
I need some time to think about that, though.
He needs some time to think about that, our Saviors.
I can't think of it.
We'll be back with Maxton after these messages. All right, we're back with Maxton. Maxton, how you feel about the week?
It's been really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. So I asked you before, how do you feel this trip or the project that you did this week, or you actually did multiple projects, how do you feel those things brought you closer to your faith?
These projects we've been doing and this whole trip has really shown me that how grateful I should be for what God has given me, and that I should take full advantage of what I've been given.
That's a spectacular answer, my man. What do you feel like there's one thing that you've learned during your week that feels kind of deep to you?
I think I've learned that everybody in the world has their own sufferings, and not everybody is what they are on the outside or who they try to show themselves as.
It's very cool. Thank you for being on the trip, man.
Of course.
All right, we're out here in the sunshine with Katie Jensen. Katie, I'm not going to ask you the normal questions today. I'm going to ask you, first of all, how did this trip either bring you closer to your faith, or what part of this trip or the mission work, how did it bring you closer to your faith? And what is one thing you learned this week that you feel is kind of deep, man?
Deep. Okay, I found out that everyone, not everyone here is from a Lutheran church, but I think it's crazy that everyone from like so many different churches are here. And we had someone from Colorado, Tennessee, Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Illinois, all my group, and like we all worked together.
Who was the kid from Illinois in your group?
Me? I don't know. But it was really cool that we all worked together, and I thought that was cool how God brought us all together and like all worked together, and we all like didn't know each other, and we worked really well on this house and got all painted, and we actually did so good. We got designated to go to another house today and help them finish up because
very cool.
We had help finish painting. Yeah.
What's one thing you feel like you learned that was kind of deep, man?
That we all came from different places, but we somehow all ended up here this week.
That's
to all help.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, well, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Katie.
Thank you, Trevor.
All right, you got Rev Trev here with the one and only lead singer of the Stolberg Band. All right, AKA Emma J. Emma, speak on your experience here, please.
You have to re-say the questions.
So my first question would be, what do you feel about this trip or about your work here strengthened your faith?
So the whole like theme of the week was forged, and so it was just a really eye-opening experience to know that like it all goes full circle. Like it starts at hope and it always ends at hope, and so I felt like that really just helped like understand that you go through struggles, but you're always going to come out on the better side of it.
Excellent reflection. And then the second question that I have for you is, what's one thing that you feel like you learned this week that's relatively deep?
I learned this week that like the Native American people, a lot of them on this reservation have to give up a lot just to ask for help from us, like because it feels like they can't ask us for help, and it's something that a lot of them like benefited from. Like my resident was an older lady who she couldn't even get out of her house at the moment because her wheelchair ramp was just like too difficult. Like it would just she never saw the outside of her house unless she had to leave it for like a doctor's appointment, and so I felt like it was really important that got done for her. So yeah.
Spectacular. Thank you for being here. Thank you for singing with us and making us sound better. Emma James, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
All right, we got Claire James. All right. Claire, tell the people back home, our Saviors congregation, anybody who happens to be tuning in, what would you say this trip or the work that you did, how did that affect your faith?
I think on this trip we talked a lot about like how God's always there for us, like through like hard times and good times. I think it just helped me like my faith grow and like realizing even though like bad things happen, God was always there for me.
Preach, sis. All right, and then what's something that you might have learned this week that you think is kind of deep or affects you?
I think we talked a lot about like forging and how like in ordering for something to get stronger, it has to go through hard times first, and like that.
I like it. Thank you, and thank you for being here this week. You did great. I'm proud of you. All right. All right, I'm Trevor, and I don't want to start crying, so I don't need to tell you what this trip means to me spiritually, but I got to tell you something that I've learned or reaffirmed, and that is that these folks may be poor in worldly possessions, all right, but they are rich in culture. They are rich in heritage, and they are proud people, and they're beautiful people, and you see it everywhere you go. And this is just one cafeteria or one gym, but everywhere I went this week, oh, look at that. They have pronunciations of words and their meanings just everywhere here, and that's beautiful. All right, Scott, I'm going to ask you the same questions I asked the kids.
Uh-oh.
I'm only going to ask you one of the two questions. What's something you learned this week that you find fascinating or deep?
That's a deep question.
It is.
That's probably the deepest thing I've heard all week. Right?
It is.
No, something that's fascinating. Being in this place and seeing the people that inhabit Mission, South Dakota, that group, these people that regularly live here, that's been amazing. Amazing to see, and has brought me a different understanding of some of the difficult circumstances, certainly, that people face, and the different levels of poverty that there is in the United States. There are people that are really in need here, and in a way that I've never seen before. I've heard about it, but to see it firsthand is...
I can't even say I've heard about it properly.
Yeah, I mean.
Did I know that this place existed? Sure. Did I know anything about it? No. There's more banners. All right, everywhere. Scott and I are totally twinning, by the way. Courtesy of your girl Sarah. Sarah, I'm going to ask you. No, girl, I'm going to ask you the same question. What's something that you learned this week that you find either fascinating or deep?
I think just being exposed to a lot of new things how very little I know about tools.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think that's what it means. I think definitely a culture. I haven't, honestly, other than with this group, I haven't traveled very much far from home. So the experience of the drugs here, hearing the kids, maybe hearing stories that I knew or didn't know. And the stories I did know, I think I heard from a very different perspective.
Yeah, here's more stuff. All right. There's Isaac. Max is back. We got a girl, Sarah. Just wanted to show you the 360. We're all outside. It's the end of the night, last night. So we're meeting with our crews for the last time, the crew we work with. So our Saviors cherubs are just kind of scattered throughout. Let's say goodnight. Video's over. Good night. Bye.
Bye.